I'm Mike. I'm the senior technician here at ABI. Today we're going to be talking about what to do when you first receive your Arena Rascal Pro. As you can tell, it's all covered in shrink wrap plastic, and it's stapled. It's going to be stapled all the way around on all four corners. So the safest and easiest way, just to make sure you don't get cut with a staple, is to take your utility knife and just cut all the way around the base. Watch for your straps. Try not to cut through your straps yet, but cut through your plastic all the way around. I pre-cut the other corners to make this a little quicker. Once you do that, you want to uncover the unit. Now be sure when uncovering the unit to kind of stand off to the side to make sure that things don't fall out, because it has been delivered in a truck for a long amount of time. Sometimes they're going all the way from Texas to possibly Maine or something like this, and it's going to be easy to have stuff get jostled loose, so try to stand back in case something falls out. Make sure when you first get your Arena Rascal Pro, have the truck driver wait for a few minutes so that you can remove the plastic, inspect for any damages, and make sure that all the components you ordered came with it. Nothing was lost during transportation. Okay, now next what you're going to do is you're going to want to check and make sure everything's there. And while the truck driver's still waiting, make sure that your hitch is installed. Your hitch, as you can see, is banded right here with our phone number on. This will later go on top in here to hook to your tow vehicle. Also, your profile blades are set down here and banded on, and they're banded onto your scar fires. Make sure that all your scar fire tips are here and accounted for. And then you may have ordered an optional rail blade. The rail blade will be pinned in on the unit upside down. Also, it comes with a complimentary top link. And then you may have an optional ball hitch that you ordered, or you may have opted to go with the electrical actuator to raise and lower the unit. And be cautious when cutting this not to go too deep, because there is electrical wiring inside. Unpack it, make sure your actuator is here, make sure your wiring kit is here with all your hardware, and your control box. And then you also may have opted to get the wireless control unit, and you want to make sure if you ordered that, that's in there at this time also. Okay, next, now this is we could have let the driver leave. After we checked, made sure everything was there, it's fine to let him go and get on his way, because of course they're always in a hurry to get their job done. So now, after the driver's left, we can start cutting our bands. Now remember, again, these have traveled a long distance, probably across country in some cases. So stand off to the side always when cutting bands in case something is loose and would fall down. Okay. As you can tell, the hitch starts to drop. You need to hold it, set it off to the side, and then you cut loose your profile blade. Alright, today we're going to talk about whether you have the Arena Rascal Pro, the Gravel Rascal, or an infield Rascal. Most of the setup steps are all the same. There's going to be a little difference. This is the Arena Rascal and Gravel Rascal, come just like you see here today. The infield Rascal, the top link is not hooked up on it here, and the jacks are not completely hooked up. And you'll have to fold it down, hook the jacks in, and we'll go over that as we get this one down, what the differences are. What you're going to need, no matter which one you're doing, you're going to need a 3/4 inch wrench, and then either an alignment tool or punch, or even just a 3/8 inch extension and a 3/4 inch socket. So what you'll do, now these I've already pre-loosened, but you'll need a wrench, because with these nuts that are on this, these are a locking nut, and so they're really hard to turn. It always feels like you have them cross-threaded, but they're not cross-threaded, they're just style of nut. They're used because they will lock on and not come back off after tightened, so you won't have to worry about losing your hitch. So you remove your bolts. After you remove your bolts, you're going to get your hitch. You're going to slide it as closely into place as you can. And if you look, you'll see my bolts didn't line up all the way exactly, my bolt holes. And I can sit here and force it, but that's why I use this. What I do is I just run this through here, and I'm just using the extension because everybody has one. And just tap it down a couple times. Now you can see my bolt holes are lined up. I'm ready to insert both bolts and tighten them down. Okay, now our next step, if you'll notice, they purposely align this top link so that the handle on the top link is locked between the two bolts to lock this in from being able to do nothing but only rock a little forward. So the first thing you need to do, you need to detach this pin, remove this pin, and then slightly move forward and pull this upward. Now Andrew's going to go around, he's working the camera, and help me line this up. This is easier with two people to do this step. But what you want to do is slowly lower it down. Keep going, I got to get to the bottom hole. And then you'll pin this in the second hole down from the top. Once you've got that in, replace your lock, and now you're ready to move your jacks and get it lined up for your tow vehicle. Now our next step, we're going to want to drop the tongue so we can get it closer to line up our tow vehicle. So what we're going to do is we're going to crank this clockwise, and as you can see, as I crank, the hitch is slowly lowering down. And I'm going to keep doing that until I get it to height to match up to the hitch of my tow vehicle. Okay, you'll notice as you started to run the jack down, or the back jack down, on the finish rake, it'll start to get a little tipsy. So what you want to do is after you get it down a little ways, before you go any further, you get it vertically aligned, run your tires down all the way for a stability point so that it can't tip to roll off the skid, because we definitely don't want anybody to ever get injured. Okay, now that you've got it hooked all to your tow vehicle, what you want to do, you want to release the back finish rake, start cranking that out so that it'll clear the skid when you pull it off the skid. Once you've got that missing the top of the skid, now you'll want to crank your wheels down so that the scar fires and everything are released and everything's free. Then you simply start up the tow vehicle.